And there you have it. With the clean sweep ending at the Fortress, the Golden Knights are your Western Conference champs. And they're heading to the Stanley Cup Final. We'll have the full highlights, plus the energetic crowd of fans outside Toshiba Plaza.
And we are gusty and dusty today. We're gusty and dusty out there right now. One difference is that cooler air is also starting to come into the southern Nevada area. We'll give you the update on what we expect for those winds for the next few days and that cooler air for the rest of the work week.
A judge dismisses lawsuits against NV Energy's controversial demand charge. What the judge had to say about today's decision and what the Nevada Attorney General plans to do next. Thanks for being with us here at 11 o'clock. It is a golden night here in Las Vegas. For the third time in 9 seasons, your Golden Knights are going to the Stanley Cup Final. The team swept the Colorado Avalanche tonight, becoming the Western Conference champions at the Fortress. We have team coverage for you tonight. Fox 5's Evan Leake has been at Toshiba Plaza all day with the fans. We'll hear from him in just a bit. But first, let's go to Fox 5 sports reporter Vince Sapienza, who has been with the Golden Knights every step of the way. He's live at T-Mobile Arena tonight. Vince?
Yeah, good evening, Tom. You know, it's interesting. This is as loud of a building as I can remember since the 2023 Stanley Cup run. But to truly appreciate the journey that is tonight, you have to go back just a couple months ago. The Golden Knights were on the verge of missing the playoffs. They just fired their Stanley Cup winning head coach Bruce Cassidy, and they hired a guy that was on TV over at ESPN in John Tortorella. The result, they've won 19 of 24 games. They take the division, they win the conference, and now sit 4 wins away from their second championship. Let's hit the ice where we had a new goalie matchup. Mackenzie Blackwood making a series debut, taking on Carter Hart. Starting the first, not even 5 minutes in, Braden McNabb with a lob shot, springs the captain. Mark Stone, call him Dr. Dangles, dekes Blackwood and sets the Fortress on fire. His 5th of the postseason, second in as many games. On the other end, Hart adds one to the highlight reel, flashing the leather on Brock Nelson, who gets in all alone. It was 1-0 Vegas after 1. Jump to the second, where Hart continued to stand on his head. The Knights outshot 6-0 to start the middle stanza. Hart fighting through traffic, seeing everything, stopping everything to give it a 1-goal game through 2. Final frame, just minutes to play. Nick Dowd wins a board battle, slides it to Dylan Coghlan, who finds Cole Smith alone in front. He redirects it home, his 3rd of the postseason. That would prove to be your winner. The Avs would cut the deficit to 1 with 2:03 to play, but too little, too late. The President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche 4-0 with a Game 4 2-1 victory.
By far our best game. It's something we have been concentrating on, and I think we've gotten better and better through the rounds. But tonight's game was our best checking effort, and that's a hell of a hockey team we played over there. And I was very nervous. We knew how we had to play because it's such a potent team. And I thought it was our best game. I'm thrilled for the opportunity, thrilled to be along the ride with them. Now we're playing for I consider the first 3 rounds playoffs. The last round, that's when you play for the Stanley Cup. We have an opportunity to play for the Stanley Cup now. I'm proud of the guys.
A lot of emotion poured out on the ice and off the bench in the final seconds of Game 4 as Vegas take it 2-1 over the Colorado Avalanche. But while the emotion was plenty, there was no touching of the Clarence S. Campbell Bowl. Many medieval maniacs remember year 1 during that expansion run. They touched the Western Conference Championship trophy. Things did not go well in the final. They did not touch it in 2023, and they followed suit again by saying, we're keeping our eyes on the bigger prize that is, which is at the end of the day, 4 wins away. The Golden Knights will have the day off tomorrow. They will now look forward and await the winner of the Eastern Conference Final, Carolina and Montreal. The Hurricanes lead that series 2-1, Game 4 tomorrow night. Reporting from T-Mobile Arena inside the Fortress for Fox 5 and Silver State Sports, I'm Vince Sapienza.
Well, those are the superstitions in sports, and Vince, as the team rests, you get some rest as well, because we know Stanley Cup Final starting not too far away. Vince, thank you. We'll see you throughout the run here. Plenty of fans busted out the brooms to celebrate the Knights' clean sweep of the Avalanche. An electric atmosphere in and outside of T-Mobile Arena. Fox 5's Evan Leake joins us live from Toshiba Plaza, where he's been consumed by the VGK fandom all evening and night, even getting in on the action with a little face tattoo there.
Hey, you know, they got my good side, Tom, thankfully, with putting this on. It's hard not to get caught up in this. The fan base energy here is so infectious. So many people, really everybody, wearing the silver and gold was optimistic going into these doors, into T-Mobile Arena earlier today, and so much energy erupted out of the fortress once the final buzzer sounded. So much coming out of this fan base that have been a part of supporting this team from day one. Let's hear a little bit of some of that excitement from tonight.
Go Knights, go!
I never came to a hockey game before the Knights. As soon as I came to my first game, I was hooked.
Only my third tattoo ever, and I did it for the experience, man. Why not, right? It's Golden Knights.
Let's go, Avs! Go home, Avs.
How do we feel about them?
They can go home.
And I've been to every playoff game they've ever had here at T-Mobile, every single one. So it means a lot to me. I'm a huge hockey fan since I was a kid.
I think a lot of people from Vegas didn't understand hockey. Canadians, it's in our blood, right? But people from Vegas understand the excitement of the game, right? The passion. They can see how the players are so passionate. And it's just a great game to watch.
It was insane, and the commotion was just mind-blowing.
They turned that switch on, and that comes with experience that this team has. You know, they are the oldest team in the playoffs. With the experience, that's what shows.
We want the cup! We want the cup! We want the cup!
Woo! I feel phenomenal. I mean, at first when we went to the conference final face against Colorado, they thought they were going to be a lot more tougher than we thought, especially without our captain for the first 2 games. Man, this team proved me wrong.
I just feel like we're all Vegas born, like really, truly. We all just believe, and we're all together. We're one.
An incredibly tight-knit fan base, as you just saw. One of the fans I spoke to right when I got here earlier today said something very blunt, but it kind of stood out. Just saying that we don't quit on this team, talking about the incredible comeback after being down 3-0 in Game 3, to even talking about the disappointing stretch in this season before we got into the postseason and coming off the coaching change. This team, in a word, is dedicated. This fan base is dedicated to this team, and I think they, along with the players and the coaches, are probably happy to have a little bit of a break here, a few days to recharge and to rest before coming back full force for whoever comes out of the East to play in this Stanley Cup final, what could potentially be the second one in Golden Knights history to come off of this third appearance. And who knows, Tom, I may just not wash this off. I may just keep this for the rest of the playoff run. People have playoff beards. I have a playoff face tattoo. We'll just see how it goes. Reporting live outside of T-Mobile Arena, I'm Evan Leake for Fox 5 News. Tom, back to you.
I was wondering if you're going to wash it off or not, depending on your story selection tomorrow. It might be a little interesting to keep that off. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see tomorrow. Could be a lengthy break for the Golden Knights. The Carolina Hurricanes could finish off the Montreal Canadiens by Friday, but that series could go all the way Tuesday, June 2nd, if it goes to 7 games. So stick with Fox 5 on air and online for the latest as we follow the last leg of the Golden Knights' quest for the Cup. We're following some breaking news right now. This is in Henderson, where police are investigating a carjacking that ended in a crash tonight. This is a live picture from the scene of that crash, happened in a parking lot near Galleria and Boulder Highway. Police say the vehicle was stolen nearby and crashed just before 8:30 tonight. They say that the victim does have some minor injuries. It's unclear if any suspect was arrested. We have reached out to police for some more information, and they tell us that no roads will remain closed in the area, but the investigation continues. It has been a windy day, you have no doubt noticed, throughout the valley. Of course, tonight as well. Check out this view from the Mountains Edge area. Trees, flags, signs waving in the strong gusts. And look at this, how the wind bounced this traffic camera around. This is near the 15 in Cheyenne. And nothing really to see on the road. It's really just the camera bouncing around there. The traffic is just fine. The gusts, though, were continuing throughout the day. So we check in now with Fox 5 meteorologist Ted Priddy, who is joining us with now on how long these windy conditions are going to last, and the first alert weather days as well.
That's right. Well, another first alert weather day for tomorrow with some more strong winds, but we've been saying Tuesday today is the day with the strongest gusts, and it looks like that's coming into pass for us as we move into your Wednesday. We'll see these wind speeds decrease along the lines of 25 to 30 miles. Close to 40-mile-an-hour gusts, which we're still getting now in the Las Vegas Valley. Also some blowing dust out there. This wind advisory continues until 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow on your Wednesday. Between now and then, the most likely time frame is that we will see those gusting speeds 40 to 50 miles an hour will be over the next couple of hours. And then those wind speeds decrease, but it looks like over the next couple of days, the strongest wind will be in the afternoons. 25 to 30 miles an hour is what we expect for the next couple of days on your Wednesday and also your Thursday. But look at that cooler air coming in. Now, we started this morning at 73 degrees. We're going to start tomorrow right around 60 degrees. In fact, the next 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starting around 60 degrees. We'll finish in the afternoon around 80 degrees, which will be more than 10 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. So let's enjoy it because we have a quick warm up for the weekend and into the early portion of next week. We'll show that to you ahead.
Ted, thank you. Due to today's strong winds, NV Energy has cut power to some people on Mount Charleston to avoid possible fires. The utility issued a planned outage to the Angel Peak area. Watch is in place for a similar outage in Kyle Canyon. The outage is expected to last until 9 a.m. tomorrow when the winds slow down. Crews will check for debris and any equipment damage before turning the power back on. Today, a Clark County judge dismissed a pair of lawsuits over NV Energy's demand power charge. NV Energy's plans to change the way it bills customers met opposition, from customers and solar advocates almost from the start. The rate structure bases a customer's daily rate on the 15 minutes in which they use the most electricity. Opponents say it not only violated state law, but the Public Utility Commission of Nevada lacked the legal authority to approve it. Now, hours after the debate, Judge Mary Kay Holtis reached a decision and ruled that the demand charge could move forward.
This isn't about the utilities making more money. It's about who already paying the bills is going to be responsible. And as I read it, and as I read the exhibits and the evidence that were as presented to the commission, 90% have been paying for 10%.
After issuing her decision, Judge Holtis also acknowledged her decision might not stand up under appeal. And moments after the judge ruled, Attorney General Aaron Ford announced that exactly what he plans to do. In a statement, he writes, "In the middle of a cost of living crisis, it is outrageous for big utility companies to drop yet another expense on Nevadans' shoulders in the form of an unlawful demand charge. This price hike would force hundreds of dollars in new costs onto families who are already stretched thin. The court got it wrong, and I will be appealing its ruling to the Nevada Supreme Court." Now, Ford also said this lawsuit is, quote, far from over. In the meantime, NV Energy has already pushed back implementation of that new rate structure until January of 2027. The time to educate customers on how to get the most changes, or savings, I should say, from the change. Just over 2 weeks after a gunman opened fire inside a Smith's in the South Valley, the store is going to reopen tomorrow. On May 12th, police say Alejandro Estrada walked in and shot his ex-girlfriend and her husband, Amanda and Victor Frias Rosas. They were both workers at that store, and since then, Smith says it has been preparing to reopen by cleaning, repainting, and restocking. The company also says it's working with its employees to connect them with resources to work through their trauma. Veterans who worked with classified nuclear weapons, including at the Nevada test site, are now being heard about radiation exposure concerns. Who came to this Congressional Committee on Veterans Affairs to learn about the health problems many are facing now. Welcome back. What can be done to help those who say they were exposed to radiation, including veterans and downwinders who lived near the Nevada test site during nuclear weapons testing decades ago, and others who worked with the weapons during the Cold War? That was the question during a roundtable today at the National Atomic Testing Museum. One Henderson vet says service members once sworn to silence are now speaking out, demanding their collective voice be heard. Fox 5's Kim Passoff has more.
We had nuclear weapons technicians who worked in secret during the Cold War who could never speak about what they did, what we did.
Retired Air Force Captain Rick Workman served around the world working on nuclear weapons and at the Nevada test site.
Our issue is so secretive. The nuclear weapons technicians did not speak about what we did for a living at any time during the Cold War, and many of them still take those secrets to the grave.
His mission today, the Sound of Silence Project, advocating for Cold War era veterans who worked with highly classified nuclear weapons, who he says were exposed to radiation and toxic chemicals, which decades later have resulted in health issues for generations.
I do have a lot of friends that have families, family members that have had significant birth defects, a lot of miscarriages.
For years, he has been fighting for the government to acknowledge the connection, and for the first time, he met many of Nevada's leaders face.
It's great that they were all here and they heard our cries.
We cannot do our job in Congress without people like you.
Ranking member of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, Mark Takano, came from California to host the meeting, hearing from those who say they have suffered exposure.
This is a grave injustice. They're being denied disability compensation and medical care.
We moved to Southern Nevada in 1955, just as the test site had just recently opened. From 55 to 62, there's a fairly constant exposure.
Downwinder Linda Chase says she has suffered lifelong health issues.
Next week I'm going in for a test for possible cancer, so it's ongoing.
She wants recognition for people who live downwind of the test site in Clark County.
The shroud of secrecy needs to be lifted. I hope that the downwinders that have been excluded are finally get some justice and are included as well.
Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
Workman says after years of fighting, he is now hopeful his message will reach the White House, that there could one day be benefits for Cold War nuclear technicians who work in Nevada and around the world. Rep. Takano says he supports bipartisan legislation from Nevada's representatives to recognize illnesses that test site veterans have, so they don't have to fight to prove that their diseases are connected to radiation during their service.
Now, Fox 5 News First Alert weather. Still plenty gusty out there and also some blowing dust as we have gusting speeds officially in Las Vegas right now, close to 40 miles an hour. Other locations, Henderson Executive Airport, Boulder City, right around that 30-mile-an-hour range. We still expect these stronger gusts for the next couple of hours. Then we get into early tomorrow morning. We'll see that wind advisory expire. That is until 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And then we'll see these wind speeds tomorrow morning fall in line more with 20 to 25-mile-an-hour breezes. Then in the afternoon, they actually increase to 30, 35. And really, that's the plan for those winds for the next couple of days. So more wind in the afternoon and evening than what we'll see for the first half of the day generally around the area. Look at those temperatures, 67 degrees in Las Vegas. Put this in perspective for you. We started at 73 degrees this morning. That 67 turns into 61 degrees for our official morning start tomorrow, but with some morning breezes out there, it's certainly going to feel like it's in the 50s. 65 degrees in Henderson, 71 down Nellis Air Force Base, 82 in Laughlin, 61 in Pahrump, and 68 degrees in Boulder City. So here are the rest of your morning lows for tomorrow. 61 degrees in Las Vegas, 60 in Boulder City, 54 in Pahrump, and 66 in Laughlin. Like I mentioned, with still some breezes tomorrow, you could subtract a good 4 or 5 degrees from those temperatures for what the temperature will actually feel. Breezes out there. Counterclockwise rotation with this area low pressure that's bringing us the wind, and now we're starting to see that cooler air drift through as we just did show you. But here's the update on the wind tomorrow, 5 a.m. Still some pockets of some strong wind out there, strong being around 30 miles an hour. And we'll see more of that along the Colorado River corridor. Afternoon. actually pick up around the area to 25, 30 miles an hour, and then they'll do the same thing again for your Thursday. Matter of fact, we'll see these winds the next couple of days, but Friday, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds generally around the area. Friday looking like a great day, but same for the next few days with your temperature profile. So a wind advisory continues into tomorrow morning, but a first alert day with those strong winds moving in for tomorrow. But look at your temperatures for the next 7 days. Finishing in the 80s in the afternoon, starting in the 60s, and then once we get to Saturday and Sunday, back to the 90s quickly. And then
Take 5 to Care is sponsored by Finley Subaru of Las Vegas, Simplify Heating and Cooling, and Alleviant Integrated Mental Health.
Kick off your kids' summer reading with free books. The Take 5 to Care book stop with the CCSD Book Bus. Las Vegas on Friday, June 5th. From 8 a.m. to noon, bring the kids to hop on the bus. Pick out free books. Finley Subaru will also have a food truck on site and 300 free snow cones. Fox 5 Storytime is back as our reporters and anchors will jump in to read their favorite stories to kids and families. For more information, visit our Take 5 to Care.
Life doesn't always let you choose what happens to you. I choose to be an advocate, and personal injury, well, is personal. If you want to transform your life for the better, choose a real personal injury firm. Gina Carina and Associates, changing lives daily. Life doesn't always let you choose what happens to you. I choose to be an advocate, and personal injury, well, is if you want to transform your life for the better, choose a real personal injury firm. Gina Carina and Associates, changing lives daily.
Massachusetts has become the first state with a rideshare drivers. The app Drivers Union can now collectively bargain for the state's 70,000 rideshare drivers. It means it can negotiate contracts with Uber and Lyft, focusing on pay, driver safety, and account deactivation. That's when drivers lose access to accepting rides for Uber and Lyft. The drivers won the right to unionize in November 2024 after a statewide ballot initiative. Similar efforts are underway in other states. California rideshare drivers gained the right to unionize in January, and in Illinois, a bill could give drivers collective bargaining rights if signed into law. A new approach to getting homeless individuals off the streets. We break down the strategy in a new pilot program here in the area. And one person is killed, 9 are hurt, and 9 are missing after an implosion at a fixed facility in Washington. We're going to tell you what we know straight ahead tonight.
We are local. Las Vegas. Fox 5 News starts now.
Welcome back. Clark County statistics show that on any given night, more than 7,000 people and families are sleeping in shelters or on the streets. Now, to get people off the streets, teams of social workers in the city of Las Vegas head to camps for outreach. But now a pilot program has a radical new approach to urge people to get help. Fox 5's Jacqueline Schultz shows us the program in action.
The city has 4 mobile response teams called MORE teams that hit daily, meeting people and offering them services. The pilot program has a new strategy. As you're about to see, many people on the streets doctor.
Hurt yourself? Well, I'm an EMT.
Well, I get very well. This woman says she was in a car accident, but didn't get medical care. She's been living on this bench.
Where's the pain starting?
Pain starts in my legs. The man she is with also wants a doctor. After the advanced emergency medical technician screens them both, they both want a ride straight to Las Vegas's homeless shelter, the Courtyard.
They both need medical care. They both also need vital documents. So we're just going to load them up, get them down, get them medically screened first.
Las Vegas joins a group of cities from as far as Mexico, Canada, and the UK, piloting a new strategy for homeless outreach. Each team of social workers now has 2 experts come along, an advanced EMT and a mental health or drug and alcohol counselor.
We're able to identify what the needs are than if we're just running into someone and referring them to a shelter. EMT might say they need some care, they may have an open wound. Qualified mental health professionals, folks that just have a little bit extra training to deal with some of the challenges we face with a lot of our unsheltered homeless. They don't fall through the cracks as they're getting referred to the next system.
The team sat down with another man on the sidewalk. He says he needs medicine. He also wants a ride to the shelter.
Brought him down here to the street team at Courtyard. They're going to help him get his medicine out of storage, get him up to the clinic at the top of the hill, and then get him all squared away.
Getting quick medical help, that's sometimes the first step for anybody to get help to get off the streets.
Yeah, absolutely. With this population, there's always going to be inherent healthcare risks. Seeking immediate healthcare is always going to be one of the first steps to helping people get off the streets.
The pilot is in place for 18 to 24 months, and the city communicates with other cities from across the country and the world on their progress with the pilot. Reporting in the city of Las Vegas, Jacqueline Schultz, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Last year, more than 5,000 people accepted services from the team's outreach. Federal prosecutors have dropped a firearms complaint against the man tied to a suspected biolab found inside a Las Vegas home. Court records show the U.S. Attorney's Office dismissed the federal case against Ori Solomon without prejudice, meaning they could refile the case later. Solomon was arrested in February after agents served a warrant at a home near Washington, Hollywood, and found a refrigerator with vials of unknown liquids. Now, while the federal gun case is now dismissed, Solomon still faces state charges accusing him of disposing and discharging hazardous waste. Nye County Sheriff's Office is investigating after hikers found a human skull in the Shadow Mountain area Sunday evening. Deputies and detectives responded and were led by the hikers to the exact spot where officials confirmed the remains are human. Right now, investigators don't know how long the skull has been there or who it belongs to. It is being sent to the Clark County Coroner's Office for DNA testing and identify the person and help determine that cause and manner of death. The case remains under investigation. A chemical implosion in Washington state today left at least 1 person dead, 9 others injured, and 9 still unaccounted for. The implosion happened at a paper and packaging facility. Fire crews continue to search for those missing. Sherelle Hubbard has.
First responders rushed to the scene of a fatal implosion involving hazardous materials at a paper and packaging facility in Washington state.
There were multiple critical injuries, and patients were transported to hospitals in Longview and throughout the Vancouver-Portland area. We can also confirm there were fatalities related to the incident.
The implosion happened around 7:30 a.m. local time at a Nippon Dynawave Packaging Company facility in Longview, about 130 miles south of Seattle. Authorities say an 80,000-gallon tank, about 60% full of so-called white liquor, ruptured.
It is a chemical mixture of sodium hydroxide, sodium sulfide, and dye used in the paper making process.
Officials said they were in the recovery phase Tuesday afternoon with firefighters and a hazmat team on site working with plant employees to contain the situation and find those still missing.
This is a tragic incident for our community. Our thoughts remain with the victims, their families, co-workers, and everyone who has been impacted by it.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Officials said there is no immediate threat to the public. In California, crews are keeping a close watch on a damaged chemical tank, but the immediate danger has dropped. Authorities have evacuation orders after saying the risk of a catastrophic explosion has been eliminated. About 50,000 people were told to leave their homes at one point, and most have now been allowed back.
There continues to be the threat of flammability as well as a smaller explosion, and that's why we are still holding to the reduced evacuation zones.
The tank holds about 7,000 gallons of MMA. That's a chemical that can cause serious health problems. And while the threat is lower, officials say it still does pose some risk. The U.S. is expanding screening efforts for travelers arriving in the country from West Africa. There have been at least 220 deaths and 900 cases reported, but the real numbers could be higher. All passengers from the region are being rerouted to 3 U.S. airports, Atlanta, Houston, and Dulles International in Virginia, for screening.
You have to be extremely ill, fatigued, almost to the point of being unconscious, vomiting, diarrhea, for you to be at high risk. And I do not see anyone at all with those types of symptoms ever being allowed to get into an airport, much less on an airplane.
For the next 30 days, non-U.S. citizens who recently traveled to the infected areas will not be allowed entry into the U.S. It could cause complications. With the upcoming Congo soccer team is currently in Belgium. The team has to quarantine for 3 weeks to be allowed into the U.S. Protesters and law enforcement clashed near a New Jersey ICE facility where inhumane conditions have been alleged for months. Tensions escalated over the holiday weekend as hundreds of detainees reportedly went on a labor and hunger strike. Jennifer Porter Real has more.
We have a letter, we spoke out, no one did anything, we're being ignored, so we're gonna go on strike.
It is day 5 since detainees inside Delaney Hall began a hunger and labor strike, raising concerns about a lack of medical care and what they describe as inhumane conditions. Since Friday, protesters have gathered outside the facility supporting their demands.
They have 2 demands. One demand is they want Mikey Sherrill to come inside and meet with them. And the second demand is the immediate release of young people, older folks, and people with medical conditions.
Today, some protesters say they were disappointed she didn't push harder to get inside.
When she walked to the fence, she was told no, and she just turned around. Like, why didn't she, insist? Why is she not here today? If she wasn't let in yesterday, then come again today.
Jose Veras, who was just released after 40 days at Delaney, says the strike was necessary. We went hungry for a purpose, he says in Spanish.
We know that there's people with serious illnesses inside who have no access to medicine or to be taken to a hospital or to a nurse. Or in the case of last week, they found live worms in their food.
We should be supporting people in that kind of condition. We have the freedom to do so, and we should.
In a statement, ICE denied those claims, saying that detainees receive 3 meals a day, basic necessities, and access to medical care.
That's not the America that I want. That's not the America I grew up in.
He has like bruises, like red, purple, black bruises, like on his wrist, on his arm, like on his legs.
Tearing up right now. Just so angry and so sad.
Again, the Department of Homeland Security says there are no subprime conditions or abuse at the facility, and it says there is no hunger strike there. New Jersey leaders and lawmakers say tried detention centers you heard there, but they were denied. The U.S. Supreme Court has cleared the way for a lawsuit to proceed against Instagram parent company Meta. Vermont's Attorney General filed a lawsuit accusing Meta of designing the Instagram app to be addictive for young users. Meta argued it can't be sued in Vermont court because neither the company nor the app have specific ties to the state. But the Supreme Court declined to review a lower court decision allowing the lawsuit. The case moving forward could impact other similar lawsuits filed against Meta in other states. It's something neighbors have growing their footprint in the Far East Valley with a brand new area command. It is called the Hollywood Area Command, and it is designed to put more officers right where they are needed instead of pulling from other parts of the valley. Sheriff Kevin McMahill walked Clark County Commissioner Tick Seegerblum through the new facility this morning. McMahill says the new station will help officers take ownership of the neighborhoods they patrol and cut down their response times.
One of the things that we know by putting police stations in these communities is that the cops adopt those communities as their own. They work out of the station. These neighborhoods are their homes, the places that they want to protect, where they develop a real tremendous pride in those neighborhoods, and they don't have to travel as far to go out to conduct the police activity that we require of them day in and day out.
The Hollywood station becomes Metro's 11th area command in the Valley. For the first time in more than 30 years, the World Cup will be played on American soil. We'll take a look at the safety and security for the games in the U.S.
And your highs for your Wednesday. Keep in mind, it's still with some 25, 30 mile an hour breezes out there, so it'll feel a little cooler. 81 degrees in Las Vegas. In the last few days, we've been in the low 90s like today, mid 90s, so a big difference for tomorrow. These types of temperatures around 80 going to stick around for your Thursday and also your Friday. And the details on your wind and your weekend highs ahead.
A Maui couple is sharing they fought off a tiger shark while kayaking last weekend. Chelsea Akima and Alika Dickerson say they were about a mile offshore in a 12-foot kayak when they saw a fin pop out of the water. The shark then bit into their kayak. Dickerson says he punched it 3 times before it let go and swam away. The couple says it was much bigger than their kayak.
And then it starts coming at us like at an excessive speed. And I'm thinking like, shark, I yell shark. Within a second, we're just getting like rocked like back and forth.
I was in shock. And then I told her like, oh, it just bit the kayak. And yeah, after that, I just started shaking and headed in.
Marine biologists at the University of Hawaii say that that area is a mating hub for tiger sharks. As for the couple, they say anyone who ventures out there should be prepared with emergency gear. Intelligence is reshaping the way we live and work. It could take our jobs, but those fears of complete job replacement aren't yet bearing out in the real world. While AI can automate about 57% of work-related tasks, according to consulting firm McKinsey & Company, experts say it can't do everything. Instead of replacing jobs, companies are reimagining them and recalibrating operations to take advantage of what the technology has to offer.
Almost every company is embracing the tools and trying to introduce AI into their workforce to help people be more empowered.
The real competition, experts say, isn't coming from AI itself, but rather will be between people who know how to use it and those who don't. Childhaven and the county are looking for foster and adoptive parents. Fox 5 and the county are teaming up to help local children find their forever homes. Get ready to meet Sophia, who is ready to be adopted.
Hi. Miss Sophia is a very curious and silly girl. She is a girl who loves adventure and loves to wander. I would describe Sophia as a kiddo who is always learning through experiences. She is just a really joyful and silly girl who just loves to give head hugs. Sophia. And loves to say hi and give high fives. High five? That's silly. That's silly. She loves to mimic words, and she has been doing really well at learning how to communicate her needs. Wow. We are looking for a family that is really patient and kind, a family that's willing to be really flexible and the energy to provide Miss Sophia so she can continue to grow and thrive. We're all here to support her and her family on that journey and help them succeed with resources and any guidance that we can. Help Sophia find her forever home.
To learn how you can adopt a child, visit fox5vegas.com and click on the Find My Forever page. Start of the World Cup is a little more than 2 weeks away, and Mexico will host South Africa in Mexico City on July 11th. The first game in the U.S. is happening the day after. Fox 5 Washington correspondent Ryan Henson has more on how officials are working to make this World Cup safe and secure.
Every kick holds aspirations of a nation. One country will make history at this year's World Cup, but securing soccer's highest achievement starts with safety outside the stadium. In March, President Donald Trump created a White House task force to make sure up to 6 million visiting fans in 11 host cities enjoy their time in the U.S. regardless of their team's outcome.
When President Trump established the White House task force, he set out a very clear mission to ensure the United States delivers a safe, welcoming, and memorable World Cup.
And the federal government is kicking in $625 million to shore up security in host cities before the games begin.
Our counterterrorism, criminal, counterintelligence, and espionage and cyber divisions are closely monitoring all available information to maintain awareness of threats from potential terrorists, cyber actors, and anyone else seeking to engage in nefarious activity related to the World Cup.
This is about protecting people first and then profits. The World Cup is estimated to add $17 billion to our nation's GDP, according to the committee. Trump has made it very clear since he took office. One of his goals is to display America in the best light at every opportunity.
It is an opportunity to demonstrate the strength of our coordination at every level of government and across agencies, from federal partners and state and local law enforcement.
The United States headlines the first game in the U.S. on June 12th in Los Angeles. They'll be taking on Paraguay. In Washington, I'm Ryan Henson.
You can catch all the action right here on Fox 5. And as we count down, we're finding out who the community is going to be watching. Here's Carla Salinas.
As the World Cup gets closer, the excitement is already building here in Las Vegas. Soccer, or football, is the biggest sport in the world, and everyone who has once played the game has a story to tell. So we went out in the community and we asked, who will you be watching? What team, what player inspires you most?
I'm going to go for my country, Mexico, obviously. My favorite team, my favorite player is Messi, so I'll keep an eye on him, obviously. But no, I will go as far as they can, and I mean, it's a long shot, but hopefully they could win the World Cup. I remember my first World Cup. Might sound a long time ago, but it was 2002. And just waking up, it was in Korea and Japan, so just waking up super early, 4 or 5 in the morning at that time to watch the games. And that's how I fell in love with the game. Just started playing when I was young. I was about 6 or 7 when I started playing, and ever since then I loved it so much, and I knew I wanted to be a professional soccer player. My dad was a big fan of the teams in Mexico as well, so I grew up watching that league a lot. It was my dream to play in that league, and yeah, I think it's part of the culture, and it's growing even more now.
And the countdown to the World Cup is on. Soccer fans, the action starts on June 11th, and you can watch right here on Fox 5. Until then, we'll keep counting down with you.
Now, Fox 5 News First Alert weather. Still gusty out there. We'll continue to see these gusting speeds overnight into the early hours of tomorrow before we get a little bit of a decrease, but then back up to 30-35 miles an hour for tomorrow afternoon and evening. Same schedule for us for the wind on your Thursday. More wind in the afternoon and evening than what we'll see in the morning, but still breezy in the morning hours. Wind advisory through 5 a.m. on Wednesday, so still have some wind out there. Moving in right now with 67 degrees. That cooler air starting to filter into the southern Nevada area. In fact, we start at 61 degrees. We started at 73 degrees this morning. 61 for tomorrow morning with a little bit of a breeze. Going to feel like we're in the 50s. We'll actually be in the 50s. Henderson Executive Airport at 56 degrees, 59 in North Las Vegas. Here's that actual system right here, bringing us the cooler air and also that wind still spinning on the border of California and Nevada right now. So here's the picture with our wind. Get a little bit of a decrease as we head into tomorrow morning in some locations and back up there in the afternoon to around 20 to 25 miles an hour. So still a gusty afternoon expected. If you want less winds, it's still breezy conditions in the morning hours. Then that's what we have in store for your Wednesday and Thursday. Here's noontime Thursday with those gusting speeds picking up just in time for the afternoon to the mid-20s for us. And then we'll finally get a nice decrease for your Friday morning, but it looks like we'll still deal with those mid-teens mainly around the area with those breezy conditions on your Friday afternoon. It's not completely calm, but a lot less wind than what we'll see for the next couple of days. So wind advisory with the wind continues into 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. First alert day for tomorrow, then things quiet down for the weekend and into next week as we warm up in a big way. I mean, take a look at your temperatures. Right around 60 degrees to start the next few mornings. Daytime highs in the 80s. Nice temperatures, but conditions not great with those strong winds. 90 on Saturday, 94 on Sunday, and then look at that heat that's in store for us for your Monday and Tuesday. Back into the low 70s for morning starts and daytime highs around 98, and a week from today, 100 degrees.
You're watching Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
The Pittsburgh Zoo welcomed a new addition last month. This female African lion cub was born on April 5th. She is the first cub for her 9-year-old parents, Hondo and Scarlett. The cub is not in public view right now. She's still in a maternity den with her mom, so the two can bond. Zoo visitors can expect to see her for the first time later this summer when she is older and ready to be introduced to the other lions. That's Fox 5 News at 11 for this Tuesday night. A live look over a very excited city as the Golden Knights are now going to the Stanley Cup final. More coverage tomorrow morning. Fox 5 News This Morning begins at 4 a.m. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching Fox 5 News. Stay connected with Fox 5 Vegas Plus. To live stream, watch previous newscasts, and get first alert weather. Just search Fox 5 Vegas on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.